All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, as you can see on the screen here, we have got some yellow Enel action for you, lined up for you today. And we're going to be experimenting with some new cards from EB02 in today's video. I'm sure you guys, anyone who follows the channel or who just follows the One Piece TCG, they probably know what card we've added to the list for today's games. It's two cards in particular. So we'll be messing around with that today in today's video. Let me go and break it down for you guys so you know what you're getting into. We're going to go straight over to the deck list. We're going to check out what I'm running. We'll break it down and kind of talk about what we can expect and look at the new cards that I was referring to earlier. And then we're also going to, after that, we're going to head over and do 5 games on the sim. Okay, we got a game versus Smoker, Nami, Arlong, King, and Bonney. So we got some pretty serious matchups in there, some not so serious off-meta matchups. But let me say this right now, guys. This leader, it was already strong. It was already a very good leader, but some of the support it got in EB02 might have taken it to another level. And again, speaking of that, I need to make an updated tier list soon. I'll probably work on that sometime next week. So yeah, we got a lot to go over, guys. Let's go ahead and do this now. Let's get into it. And of course, after we do the 5 games on the sim, we'll go back to the deck list. I'll give you guys my final thoughts on it, and we'll wrap it up in that way, okay? So I'll have everything timestamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. And yeah, if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, or if I missed something or whatever, please be nice, but be sure to share that in the comment section below as well. Or hop on the VV Theory Discord. The link is in the channel description. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get into this. I can't wait to talk about these new cards. So first up, going to move the leader out of the way. And this is the list we're going to be running today. Now, this is basically my own creation. This is basically my own little invention here. I've gotten, inspiration from previous, decks in the past and things like that. But this is a first draft of something I'm working on that is not 100% fleshed out yet. This is not a copy-paste list. I always try to give credit where it's due, guys. Whenever I do copy-paste a list, I always try to tell you guys right away. But today's list, I basically came up with on my own, right? And it's not perfect, it's not done, but it played pretty well, okay, guys? I'm going to tell you that right now. So let's go ahead and look at it real quick, and we'll talk about it. So the leader, for those who are not aware, let's go over what the leader does first. This is the main component of what makes this deck work the way it does. 5,000 power, 4 life, mono yellow leader, Sky Island type, right? Now that is not normal, right? That is abnormal to have a mono color leader only have 4 life. They typically have 5. However, in the case of Enel, it's very different. Listen to this effect. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when your life hits 0, okay, you may add the top card of your deck to your life and then discard 1 card from your hand. The timing is very relevant on that card. So once per turn, when you hit 0 life, you're going to be able to add the top card of your deck to your hand, or to your life, excuse me, to your life. Add the top card of your deck to your life. That happens first. Then you're going to discard 1 card from your hand. But the way you need to read that is if you even have a card in your hand. So you're going to, even if you had no cards in hand, you can still activate this effect. Guys, I know some people complain about that, but I'm not the one who designed the game. That's just how it is. But very powerful effect here. But do know one thing, guys. Do take one thing into consideration. This is on your opponent's turn only. So, for example, if you try to go down to 0 life on your turn with like a flampe, if you're at 1 life and go down, then yeah, you're going to lose the life, right? And you're not going to be able to use the leader's effect because it's on your turn. Make sure you understand that. Make sure you make that mental connection there, guys. So with that in mind, this leader effect is extremely powerful. It basically means every time you get down to 1 life, you get an extra life once per turn, okay? On every single turn going forward. Very, very powerful. So because of that, we're running cards. We're going to talk about this card in a minute. But because of this effect, right, we're going to be running cards like Katakuri and Yamato to refill our life. So that way we get, so say we take a hit, go down to 0. The leader effect happens. We go back to 1. And if we take another hit, we go down to 0. Well, now our leader effect's gone, right? Which is true. If you don't have a life card, this leader effect is completely null and void. It doesn't do anything relevant. However, say we gain a life with a card like Yamato. Well, now we're back to 1, and now they have to hit us twice just to get through that final hit. Say we have Katakuri. Again, we can push a card back to our life and do the same thing. And then, of course, we have a brand new card. This is one of the only new cards I've added to the list. There might be other cards to add, but I have not messed around with yet, and we will talk about that towards the end of the video. But hear me out, guys. This is one of the new cards we need to talk about. I'm going to read it in case you guys can't see it very well. This is a 10 cost, 11,000 power character. Comes out in EB02. Okay, not OP10, but EB02. And it has, if your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gains Rush. Okay, well, guess what? Enel obviously has Sky Island type, just like this Enel character does. And check this out, guys. When attacking, so notice that it's not on play. That's very relevant. I think it's an immediate upgrade on Ace. I just have to bring this up. Some people might decide to run Ace as well. But Ace is an on-play effect, and we're about to enter into a meta that is probably going to be full of Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach leader decks, right? So with that being the case, we can't even gain life with Ace, right? However, with Enel, we can. The 10 cost 11k body, we can. Okay, because it says when attacking, and remember, it has Rush in this deck. So when attacking, we may trash one card from our hand, and if our life has one or less cards, place up to one card from the top of your deck onto your life, and then give this character plus 1000 power for the turn. Yeah, that is very strong. For those who may not know already, that is incredibly powerful. And guys, goodness gracious, if this character survives even one turn and you get to stick around one life, think about the things you'll be able to do. You'll be able to swing in with this to gain a life, eat life with Flampe. You're just generating insane levels of value at that point. It really can get out of hand quickly, and then if you can have more than one of these on the board at one time, that's probably just GG on the spot. I don't know what your opponent's supposed to do. So with that in mind, this is the main card we had to look at today. We're going to go over the list in just a second. There's one other card we have to look at. I'm only running 2 of them. I'm trying it out to see if we even need it with the amount of card cycle we have. I'm running 2 of this card called Us. It is a 2-cost event from EB02. It's what a lot of people are calling the EB02 Searcher events. It is a 2-cost. It has it has a trigger, and it activates the main effect, which we're about to read, which is look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal one card with a cost of 4 or more and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So what it's going to allow us to do in Enel is it's going to allow us to search up Katakuri, Yamato, this Enel, Nami, 2k counters, Gidatsus. It can search up basically everything in the deck with the exception of about 3 or 4 cards, Flampe, Shirahoshi, Beige, and the 0-cost event, right? Or another one of the events, obviously, to search. But that's a very low amount of targets, right? And those are targets we're probably not trying to search for when we use this effect. In fact, you shouldn't. If you're trying to find 2k counters or utility, you need to keep doing cards that cycle, cards like Flampe to draw more or whatever you have to do. Bottom line is this: you're not using this card to find your little stuff, you're using it to find the big stuff. And in this case, remember, most searchers are type-based or type-locked, right? For example, let's just go to, just to give an example, so say we wanted to run Shura in this list, which is a very good searcher. It's a 2-cost, 2000 power, 1k counter searcher. Trigger, play the card. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Sky Island type character card and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, other than Shura, right? You can't search up this searcher with it. Well, that's pretty good, right? Because with that kind of effect, we can search up Gidatsu, we can search up Raigo, we can search up this card right here, we can search up Enel, we can search up the other Enel, and even You're the One Who Should Disappear. But this card right here can search up every card we just said, with the exception of You're the One Who Should Disappear. And yes, that is very important, but we don't have a lot of ways. We don't have any way in this deck to set this card to life. So we'd rather not draw this card anyway. We'd rather push it into our life with effects like Enel and like Yamato. So yeah, that's the main idea here that we've added to the list. I am running 6 Raigos now to help combat the bigger stuff being played out nowadays, and we sit around 1 life anyway. So yeah, this new searcher event basically takes the place of something like Ashura or other cycle effects because it can just help you pinpoint exactly what you need out of your top 4 cards. At least to a large extent. Not every possibility, like with the You're the One Who Should Disappear or a 2k counter like Flampe or Shirahoshi, but it can hit so many relevant targets. Now, some people might not know what this card is. I think it's called I Am Kami is like the English translation. I could be wrong about that. But this is a 4-cost event. It's Sky Island type. It is main, put up to 1 cost 7 or lower Enel from your hand or trash into play. So from your trash as well, guys. And then trash the top of your life card so your life total becomes 1. Okay, trigger, draw 2, trash 1. So if we're hitting this off the trigger, we're getting a nice draw 2, trash 1. We'll never complain about that, right? If we need to later in the game, we can trash it with effects like Nami. And late in the game, if we have a card like Enel in our trash that we used, You're the One Who Should Disappear to get into the trash or something, well, now we can bring it back. Or say we played out an Enel and they smashed into it, we can get it right back out of the trash with an effect like this. So very, very, this is a very strong card, and it's an event that's like a main type of effect here, where guys, it's just really good against Blackbeard again, because I think Blackbeard's going to be one of the harder matchups for this leader, for this deck. Well, guys, it just got some incredible... It already had Enel the 7 cost, which is actually pretty decent. It's actually a decent effect going into any black deck. And the fact that it's a 7 cost 7k rusher is no joke, right? That's a really good thing. But now we have this 10 cost Enel, and I think it really gives the deck legs. It gives it a lot more gas. Okay, that's about it. So we're running 4. I'll just go over the list real quick so we know what's going on. Running 4 Flampe, 4 Frankie, and 2 Beige for the 2K counter package. We're running Shirahoshi for our only blocker slot because we do have a lot of ways to gain life and ways to negate life loss or like replace life and stuff like that with the leader. So we just need 1 or 2 decent blockers in a deck like this. And there is one we're going to look at a little bit later. It came out in EB02 as well. It's a card called Sanji. It's a 5 cost 6k 1k counter blocker. If you have 2 or less life cards, draw 2, trash 1. So this will almost for sure go into the deck in future versions. I saw this the other day. I was not running it, and I saw this, and I thought, well, that's pretty good for what we're doing. We'll probably mess with this later, but unfortunately, it's not in today's videos, or in today's video. Then we have Enel, of course, we talked about this. Katakuri bouncing an 8 cost. This is a great defensive card as well. If you're playing against a deck that has any kind of really big 8 cost character you're trying to worry about, like Eustace Kid or Gecko Moria or fill in the blank, whatever it might be, okay, I'll just play this out aggressively rather than defensively, and I'll just push your card out of the way, and I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later when I have time or when I can get to something like a Rygo. Yamato. This card, 9 cost 9k, that gains you a life if you have 1 or less life, and on top of that, it pops a character based on how much life you and your opponent have before that life gain happened. So it's a very, very powerful effect. This has basically been a staple in Enel since it came out, since Enel came out, because this came out in OP04, Enel came out in OP05. We already talked about this Enel. It's just a great rusher, great card. Now, one thing we're doing with this list that I really want to mention, because some people might be thinking like, yeah, okay, but when you play this, Yamato later in the game, the cards, it's not even going to be good, right? Because your opponent's going to be at like 2 or 3 life at that point, right? No, not really. You're going to see a lot in this. A lot of people do not like the play style you're going to see today, guys. I will be completely honest with you. But hey, if it works, it works, right? If it's effective, then it's effective. And in this case, guys, with Enel, you do not swing with your leader unless it's at the board to make them lose cards in hand. You just go late game against them because then your Gadatsus are full power throughout the game, and so is your Yamato. So you're popping whatever you need to early on with Gadatsu, or like in the mid game with Gadatsu, and then later on with Yamato. And then once you have enough board control with Enels, Shirahoshis, and like, Yamatos, whatever, right? Katakuri, you name it. Then you can actually start going into life when it's too late for your opponent and you've stabilized. Okay, so that's Gadatsu. We got Frankie. We got Nami. Everyone knows what Nami does, right? We have tons of triggers in here to help out. In fact, we could have more, but let me see something. We have 2, 4, 7, 10, 14, 18, 22 altogether. So let's just say 21 possible triggers with the Nami early on. So it's one of those where like almost half the deck is triggers, and we might need to make revisions later on to make it even more than that. But who knows? I think if you're around 20, then it's going to be pretty dependable. You can depend on this card. And in a deck like Enel, you want as many triggers as possible to get as much value as you can from the leader effect. Rygo, just an incredible card. We sit around 1 or 2 life, so this card's pretty much always good for us under any, in any circumstance. It's just good for us. We talked about I am Kami. We talked about this, and you're the one who should disappear. Okay, so that's the list, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into today's games. You know what to expect now. We'll talk more about this after the games on the sim. Okay, so first game up, we do have a game versus Smoker. And let me make sure the camera's good here. All right, looks pretty good. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x already. And here we go, guys. So first game up, we have against Smoker. Now, let me say something right now, guys. Flampe, for me, is pretty much a 1-cost draw 2. That's how I play the card. Watch this. Yep, drew 2 cards. Now, unfortunately, the card we got from the top of our life was a I am Kami card, or whatever it's called, where it's like draw 2, trash 1 for the trigger. That was unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. They popped the Flampe with a Brook. We don't care at all about that. We're going to probably just, we did a top search there, and we're just going to pass turn. We don't attack them. Guys, we did not attack our opponent. They're on a 5-down turn. They play out a brand new. They're fixing their hand. They're filling up their trash. They swing in. We're going to take it aggressively. And here we go. Gadatsu's coming down, popping the only threat they have on the board, and your turn. They're going to play out a Tashigi, popping our guy. It's totally irrelevant. We don't care at all. They don't attack into us. They don't want us to get down to 1 life, which is the right call. But guess what? We're not going to do anything here to disrupt the board state. We're going to pass the turn where they still have 5 life. And guess what? next turn, no matter what they do, they're losing a character. Because we have 2 life, they have 5 life. We can pop a 7 or less, right? So unless they played out a Gecko Moria or something, you know, it just didn't matter. Okay, they're going to swing it for 5. We're going to take it. We do get a trigger here. We have lots of dead cards in hand, so we're going to use the trigger to pop the Rebecca so we can swing out the board here, which is what we want. We'll go 6 into 5 here, see what he wants to give us. Trying to get cards from hand, it didn't work. We'll go ahead and play out the Namato, pop the Kobe, and we're back up to 1 life. And do you guys see what's going on already? It should become very clear and apparent to you guys already what's going on. So they're going to play out a Garp and an Ice Age to pop our Yamato. Seems good. We're at 5 life. We're just going to keep gaining life. We're not worried at all. Okay, time to slam down the new character. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't swing with my... I guess I should have swung first with my leader to see if he, you know, wanted to not save that card there. But, you know, oh well, that would have technically been the right play. Just swing 5 at life, see what they do. But I also don't want to give them any cards. So right here, they're going to play out the Tashigi to -2 to my guy. But I've got bad news for him. Hey, guys, he should just Garp my, my Enel, right? Oh, wait, he can't, right? Because you have to trash a card with Garp, okay? Make sure you remember that, guys. You have to trash a card with Garp. So we are in full starvation mode. This guy cannot remove my characters. He is in trouble, right? He is in a lot of trouble. So he's going to swing for 5 into me here. I'm going to take it gladly. He's going to swing in for 6 or 7 rather. Nope. He's like, you know what? I'm not swinging with my Garp, so never mind. Okay, well, we're going to play out Nami. We're going to pop that. Now we're going to swing 12 into face. Actually, we might do something else first. We'll probably swing 5 into face first. Yep. Hey, you can have the brand new, right? You can have the brand new. We're going to swing for this. We'll trash a card from hand. I think we're going to trash maybe... I trash a Raigo in case he plays out Gecko. I can just Katakuri that out of the way. Play out double Shirahoshi. We're at 2 life. That's game. I mean, like, the game's not technically over yet. Like, yeah, he still has 3 life, but there is, like, nothing he can do in this position here. Okay, he might be able to remove the Enel. That'd be very good for him. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, nope. So right here in this situation, he would have to attach 1 Dawn to his leader. Well, no, he's in another situation. He's in another situation where he can't use the... Kobe can pop a 3 or less, and this is a 5-cost target still. So if he attaches a Dawn to leader to do -1 to my guy, I'm still a 4-cost character. He can't play out the Hina to drop it even more because Kobe cannot pop a card without trashing a card first. Very tough position there. I don't think it would have mattered. I mean, it was a play mistake on my opponent's part, especially the turn before. They would have had a 2K counter to do the play we're talking about. But here's the thing, guys. I just don't know if it matters at this point. I've stabilized, and now it's just going to be... We're going to be bringing nothing but pain at this point, right? Just straight heat. So it's in a really rough spot, but it was technically a play mistake. But good game to my opponent. Okay, so that was the Enel vs Smoker game. Now we got a game versus Nami, right? We got a game here versus Nami. You might be thinking like, well, the deck is kind of slow, so it's probably not going to be good against Nami. Well, yes and no, right? Because now in the version I'm running like 8 rush cards, right? I'm running Enels, and by the way, we can take our own life very aggressively with Pudding. Look at this, guys. Or not Pudding, with Flampe. Flampe. I just drew 6 cards and went down to 1 life. Okay, swing for 8. Okay. All right, so now they're going to play out a Nami here. And they pass. We're going to play out Gadatsu. Your turn. And then after that, guys, I'm starting to fix my hand. Take a look at this hand, guys. This is outrageous stuff going on here. They swing for 5. We'll take it. Okay, we'll trash this card to fill it out. And we're just cycling through. We're on 8 Dawn now. Okay, so now it's time to just probably get pretty aggressive here, right? Okay, we're going to push a Flampe back to life in case he does want to attack again. We will take the draw card effect. I played out the Katakuri because he can't attack on the turn. He's played like my Enels can. Okay, well, here we go. Honestly, I think it's time to start slamming. Yeah, so we're going to go 7 into face here. He's going to gum Giant Gavel, or Giant Gavel, whatever it's called. We'll swing 7. We'll swing 9, and then I think we'll swing for maybe 8 right here. Let's see. Yep, we'll go 8 into 6 because he used a White Snake. He's going to use his Desert Spada, but that's not enough. He's going to use 2 Desert Spadas to get out of that, and my opponent is in trouble. They're down to 3 cards, and it's only going to get worse from here for them, right? Let me see how many cards they have in deck. They're going to play out the Nami. Let's see if I usually try to mouse over the deck here. Okay, we're not going to let him have that for 6. All right, here we go. Right here, I think we should play out the... I think we should get rid of this Nami. I will say that right now. So I think we're going to swing 7, 7, 8. Okay. Let's see. We might do something else here, guys. We might actually do something else. Okay, we'll swing in for 5. They take the 5K. They counted out all the big ones and took the 5K. Now we're going to play out the Yamato, getting rid of the Nami so they can't use that to draw cards. They still have 20 cards left in their deck, guys. 20 cards. They have 4 Dawn for this turn. And here we go, guys. This is a point where I think, like, maybe I just keep slamming these down and getting rid of these cards they think are going to give them value. Yeah, I think I should just go 5 here and see what he does. He's going to give me a 2K counter. That's not good for him. So now we're going to go 7, 7, 8, 9. Right, we're just going to go straight out across the board, and we're going to be able to finish out with another Enel next turn if we even need to do that. Okay, so they give me a 2K or something like that. They're going to use a Gum Gum or a Love Beam. We're going to swing for 8. We're going to swing for 9. This should go through. They still have 18 cards left in deck, guys, and my board is completely stacked. My board's completely stacked. Okay, they're going to play out a Boodle here. They're going to swing 6 into that. We're not going to let them have it. And let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know how they're supposed to get out of this, guys. I'm going to be honest. So right here, I think what I have to do is get through one of these attacks. Or excuse me, one of these blockers, rather. We have a Gadatsu here, so if we swing in, it does become scary. But is he really going to take the 7K hit when we have all these other ones coming in? I don't think so. He's going to use a White Snake here, which is perfect. I just needed him not to take it, and then he did end up taking it. So now I have to use a Raigo instead of a now I have to use a Raigo instead of the Gadatsu if I want to remove one of these blockers. Okay, but let's see what he has here. It's definitely not over yet, right? It's definitely not over yet. I'm just kind of going through his trash. I'm trying to see how many Gum Gum Giant Gabbles are in there. He had 3, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so here we go. We'll come in for 6 into 6. Let's see what he does for us here. He's going to use a Snake Dance. He's not going to pull back a blocker. I can pretty much promise you that. Yeah, that would not have been good. But now we're going to swing for 8 more. Let's let him use one of these blockers here. That is the main plan. Okay, he uses a blocker. He mills a card. He has 15 left in deck. I'm going to go ahead and pop the other blocker to get it out of the way, which mills 1 more card. And then we're coming in for 8 into 6, and then it's going to be 9, and then it's going to be 10. He has no Dawn left, so he has to have double 2K. He did get a Sanji's Palapa. We're coming in for 10 into 6. So now he would need 2K, 2K, 1K to get out of this attack, so he'd have 1 card left in hand with 10 cards left in deck. He actually had Triple Kaya, but guess what? Triple Kaya means he's not drawing 6 cards this turn. So okay, he's gonna swing 14 in. He has nothing else in his to play. It's our turn. We're gonna swing 9. We're gonna swing 9. GG. Okay, good game there. So at that stage of the game, guys, they had to do the Kaya play because they just lose on board, right? We swung 9 into him when he had, or 10 when he only had 6. So he can't get out of it, right? He literally just can't get out of it. But good game to my opponent there. That was a rough one for sure. You hate to see it when it happens like that, where you have to, where it comes down to the last few cards in hand. But that's what it comes down to sometimes against Nami. All right, now we got a game versus Arlong. Like, okay, so we saw how it is into the mid-range matchups, more like with Smoker, with Control. We saw it into the super slow controlling games like Nami. And now let's see how it does against the more faster decks like Arlong. And I'm going to tell you what, I think we prefer the faster decks with this leader. Okay, because we don't have to take our own life here. We play out a Shirahoshi. We take the hit from 7, and then they play out a Kikanojo. Okay, they're going to swing it for 7 more. They cheat out a Karubi. We're not getting any triggers, unfortunately, but that's okay. They'll swing it for 6. We'll give them a 2K. We don't want to go down too quickly here. But right now, we're going to swing 6 into 6. Let's see if he gives us a card from hand. He does. Now we pop it with Gadatsu. That's why you do not attack their life. With this new version of Enel, guys, I don't think you should attack life unless it's a very certain situation, which we're going to see in next game. They're going to play out a Basil Hawkins here, cheating it out. We get a Raigo, and I think we're just going to use the Raigo to pop the Basil Hawkins. We trash a life card, but we go back to 1 after using the leader effect. Seems good, right? Seems good, guys. They're going to play out Inarashi. We're just not going to let them have anything, guys. We have the Nami in hand. We're just going to pop this. Yep, your turn. We're not swinging at all. I refuse to swing, right, guys? I just absolutely refuse to swing right now. Okay, because we have a blocker. We have the 1 life cushion. So they swing in for 8. They're going to cheat out the Nekomamushi. We're going to gladly take it. We're going to trigger the card first to draw 2 trash one. We'll trash the 7 cost Enel. Now we have to trash another card for the leader's effect. We go back up to 1 life. Well, what's he going to do now, right? Is he going to load everything on Karubi? That might be the best play here. Yeah, he's going to do that. He's going to swing for 8. And now we can actually, here's the crazy part, guys. We can actually take this. We're going to take it, get the Shirahoshi. He has no more attacks for the turn. He just played out the Nekomamushi. And now, just as fast as he played it, the Nekomamushi's gone. Right? So we're going to swing 5 into the Karubi. I swung with my character just to give him something to attack into. Right? That was kind of my idea there. But now, play out the Yamato, pop the 5 cost or lower character, and then gain a life. Seems good. Guys, this is unwinnable at this point. I'm going to be honest. If it gets to this point for Enel, I don't think you can win. Okay, he's swinging for 14. We gladly take it. We do a draw 2, trash 1 trigger, trashing a card from hand, trashing another card with a leader effect. We'll get rid of the Katakuri. And here we go, guys. At this point, now that we have board control, we have a full board for the most part. We've stabilized on life. We have a 0 power blocker that can really prevent KO. Because watch this. If they KO this, let's see what happens. Okay, they didn't. We're going to play out a Yamato. We're going to swing for 5. They didn't have a trigger on it. That's what I was trying to say, guys. We'll pop the card we popped there. We'll swing in for 5. We'll swing in for 6. We'll swing in for 9. Your turn. Yep, they take it, and they did not get lucky. They did not get a trigger, but how much will... Excuse me, I think they got a Buzz Cut Mochi trigger, which allowed them to play out a 4 cost from their hand. They don't want to trash their last card so that my leader can attack. The game's over. GG. They had double beige in hand. There's just nothing more they can do, guys. Let's be honest. Because here's the thing. Say they swing all the way out at my leader. Swing 7, I take it. Swing 7, I take it. Okay? If they try to go for one of my bigger characters, I'll just either counter out or I'll block out. And they can't get through my final life with only 2 attacks. So next turn, okay, you know, maybe I probably actually would block out of one of them aggressively just to clear up a spot on my board, and then I'm slamming down the Enel for next turn, the 10 cost, and I'm just running them over. They have no chance. So good game to my opponent there, but that was a brutal matchup for them. Okay, next up we have Purple Black King. Now, like I was saying, there's a few decks you probably don't want to try to starve, and I think Purple Black King is surprisingly one of them. Because, I mean, if the deck is built anything like I expect it to be built with like 7, 8, 9, 10 cost characters, well, your Gadatsus just have no value, right? So instead, I'd rather put them on a clock and become very aggressive. So watch this, guys. We are going to play out at least one, probably, okay, we're going to do the Searcher. We'll grab a Yamato for life gain. Probably should have kept the Raigo, to be honest. We'll swing for 7 at them, dropping them down to 3, and their turn. Again, guys, when it comes to King, I don't expect to get much value from my Gadatsu KO or my Yamato, so I just don't worry about it. I'm just going to go out there. I'm just going to go at them aggressively here. Okay, they still have 3 life left, so we're not in the worst position. We can pop this with a Gadatsu. So I guess maybe Black Maria is the one card to worry about, but we will always be able to hit Black Maria with our Namis. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to play this out. So we didn't have to use Nami, so why would we? We'll play out the Gadatsu, get some value from that, swing in for 6. A 5 cost 6K is bigger than a 5 cost 5K. Okay, they play out a Trafalgar Law. They get a 0 cost 3K and a 1 cost 2K counter from hand, the Flampe. Very unfortunate. We will take this gladly. And here we go, guys. It's just going to be a beatdown now, right? It's just going to be an absolute beatdown. Just waiting on our opponent here. Oh, they did their leader effect. They're down to 3 Dawn. Guys, that is probably not the right call. So we play out the Nami first. I'm just staying aggressive here. I'm not even giving him the chance to use the blocker. It's swing 7 here. Give me all your cards. And next turn, I'll be on 10 Dawn. So, you know, they'll be on 5. We will be on 10. We have 2 life. They can't. It's impossible to rush us down at this point. This is just the point of no return for our opponent. And do you guys kind of see how Enel works? I know this is just a game versus Purple Black King. I'm trying to have a lot of variety. Don't worry, next game's against Jory Bonney. But the point is, like, you have a way to just... There becomes a point in the game where I don't know what your opponent's supposed to do. Because, again, unless they can somehow flood the board very aggressively like Blue Dofi. I should have tried to find a game versus Dofi, guys. That's what I probably should have tried to find. Maybe next time. But Enel, I think, is actually kind of decent into Dofi. Not that it can't win, like not that it can't lose versus Dofi, but I think it's pretty decent. So 9 into 6 there, they get rid of my body. I don't even try to save it. I don't care at all. And the nice thing about the 7 cost Enel in this situation is like, oh, okay, so you don't want to actually... They didn't commit anything to the board. Okay, well, I'll swing 7, your turn. I mean, absolutely brutal here. And that character has insane resilience. They can't even barely deal with it. Especially on only 7 Dawn, right? Especially when they're only on 7 Dawn. So they're going to play out the Luffy here. They're going to swing 7 into 5. They're going to do Dawn -2 to stand that. I don't think that's correct, by the way, guys. We do have to talk about that real quick. I'm pretty sure that this character cannot restand like that. It can only restand by resting 2, or by returning to active Dawn, not to rested Dawn. Okay, again, someone correct me if I'm off on that, but I think that's how the translation was. Here's a 1K counter. He only has a 6K attack. You might as well not even attack. Like, attacking here is just going to give me a card. Okay, we'll take it. Sure, why not? Okay, oh, and then we top deck the 10 cost 11K. Now it's for sure over. Swing for 5, swing for 7, 2K, 1K, coming in for 12 now. Swing for this, trash that, 12 into 5. GG. Interesting deck, by the way, guys. Look at that. Purple Black King running Sanji and Pudding. I mentioned this on the server the other day, guys, on the Discord. That seems like a match made in heaven, because let's not forget what Sanji does. If you have less life, if you have less than or equal to your opponent's Dawn, if you have less Dawn or equal to your opponent's, then you're going to be able to actually draw a card playing out a 5-cost 7k body. And then if you do your leader effect to Dawn -2, you will basically go only back Dawn -1, and standing one of the Dawn is active. Like, that's kind of how you should see it with that effect. And now you're, drawing a card with your leader's effect. So I do really, really like that that synergy right here with the pudding in Purple Black King. I might have to mess around with a Straw Hat Crew version of Purple Black King in the near future. And had I known this had been that deck, I would have tried to starve him, by the way. I would have tried to starve him. Okay, we got one more game here, guys. We got a game versus Jory Bonney. This is a much more serious matchup here, obviously. Much more meta. And this is an 18-minute game. 17.5-minute game. So here we go, guys. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. We're good to go. We're going to start off with the Shirahoshi here. I'm not happy about it, but I'd rather it still get some value. Because think of it like this. Even if they do, like, rest it when you go to attack and they swing into it, is that really a big deal? It still worked as a blocker. It's not ideal, but it's not a big deal either. Ideal, deal. That was too close, right? Didn't sound right. Okay, but now we are going to, like, at first I just wasn't going to swing anyway because what my leader's trying to do. But I am definitely swinging into that Bonney. He can tap down my Shirahoshi if he wants to, all he wants to. I'm swinging 5 into 1. Let's see if he saves it with the Rosinante, because we're going to pop whatever he didn't save with Gidatsu. Okay, just waiting on our opponent here. They're going to choose to let it go, I believe. I think they let it go, guys, if I remember correctly. They do. Playing out the Gidatsu, it didn't matter. They could have chose to let one go or the other. I was going to pop whatever they didn't save. So they're going to swing 5 into 0 there. We'll let it go. And they're going to play out a Cavendish. But guess what, guys? We've got more Gidatsus. We're running 5-cost Namis as well, guys. So it's not even like we're lucky or something like that, right? Like, we have a lot of, we have a whole lot of stuff like that. So we're going to go down to 2 life by our own doing to play out this Flampe to draw 2. We're trying to get some advantages here in hand and see what my opponent can do. Slams down a Hody Jones very aggressively. That was very smart, because now they're going to go down to 4 Dawn, or excuse me, 4 life rather. And it looks like they'll probably go for my board. I don't know how much I care about that, to be completely honest with you guys. Going for my board's fine. And I could save it if I wanted to, but we'll let it go. Let's see what he chooses to do with Nami. He just doesn't even swing. Now, that was wise. That was very, very intelligent, not swinging there. But right here, so I only have 9 Dawn, excuse me. I don't have 10 Dawn for next turn. I have 9 Dawn. So we're going to play out the Flampe to push, to draw more cards and just push that card back to life. Hey, you're back to 5 life. Nice, dude. Congrats. Good stuff. We love to see that, right? We love to see it. So we're down to 1 life. He's not going to take me out this turn. There's no way. I have 2, 4, and then I have 4, 6. I have 6k counter and a 0 cost 3k. He's going to play out Hody Jones. Again, it's just not possible to go for me right here to actually win the game. But he could try to go for my Katakuri maybe. Going for Katakuri is interesting here, but I don't want to, I really probably shouldn't let this card go. It's too big. It's too big of a card. You know what I mean? Okay, but I do let it go. I think I should have used a 0 cost 3k there, but I did have this other card coming up here. We're coming in for 5. I think I should have actually attacked first. Oh, I had to attack like this because of the leader effect, of course. They take it, unfortunately. I really didn't want them to take that. I wanted them to use counter in hand, because I'm going 12 into 8. I'm going to trash a card from hand, which is going to be the Yamato, because we're getting out of range of anything effective with the Yamato. We're getting out of the Cavendish range. We can't really hit that. So they're going to 0 cost 3k, 1k, and another 1k. Brutal. Absolutely brutal there. Let's see what they do. Jory Bonney, they're down to 5 cards, and now we've got a big card on the board, guys. We got a big card on the board right now. That 10 cost 11k is massive. He has to invest 3 Dawn just to go into it with his Hody Jones. So if he wants to do that, that's basically his entire turn. He'll have enough Dawn for a 6 cost and then a Stone Leader effect. Okay, 8 into 6 here. You can have that card, right? We're not going to save the Gidatsu, because he's tapping down one of my attacks every turn anyway. He plays out a Jory Bonney to freeze my guy. That's a nice new card, guys, the new Jory Bonney. That's annoying. He does play out that card. We will swing for 5 first, I believe, because we need to play out our 10-cost Rusher. All right, swing for 5. He'll probably take. I would 1,000,000% take right here if I was Jory Bonney, but it's up to them. It wouldn't be, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they didn't, but why wouldn't you just draw a card when you're safe? Okay, blocking to draw a card works too, I guess, but now I get to swing 12 into your guy. We'll trash the Gidatsu, because again, And look at that, guys. So because I didn't gain a life, it did not give me the plus 1,000 power. I do not think that's correct because the way it's worded, it should be, okay, trash a card, gain a life if you have 1 or less life cards. And then it says, then get up to plus 1,000 power for the turn. So I should have gone up to 12,000 power there if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm forgetting the wording on it. Okay, 11 into 8, still going to cost a 2K. That's not a small price to pay. And we saw him go through a 1K the turn before. Yeah, it's gone. All right, now it's his turn. Let's see what he's got for us. Okay, he'll probably just get rid of this Bonney, or this Flampe here, right? Who cares about the Flampe? Unless he wants to drop me down to 1 life. We'll take that as well. Dropping me down to 1 life is a favor for me, right, guys? For those who are not aware, I want to go down to 1 life. So my opponent is really deep in the tank right now. They have all 10 Dawn. Okay, now they have only 9. So that kind of telegraphs it's probably going to be a Shanks turn, right? We're probably going to get hit with a Shanks here. Okay, let's see what they do. Swing for 7 into 5. Very annoying. I will take it, though. We'll do a draw 2, trash 1. Absolutely. And then we'll trash one of these Yamatos, or maybe a Katakuri. I like trashing the Yamato here. And then trashing a Nami to draw a card. I think I should have trashed the Flampe, though. Or excuse me, not the Flampe. The Katakuri and kept the counter in hand. They play out a Rosinante. We're still just going to keep going for this board, guys. Nothing's going to stop us from doing that. We're not going to use the effect here because it's 11 into 4. Let's see what they choose to do. They might choose to save it because I don't have any other attacks on the board. One thing I will say, too, would have been what would have been really nice in this game is actually getting a... I'm going to trash the Yamato with that effect to gain a life. It would have been really nice to get the 7 cost. The 7 cost Enel in this matchup. That would have been really nice. Just another target they just can't really deal with on the board. But okay, they're going to come in for 5. I don't think I should actually take this, but I might. Yeah, we very greedily take this. Now here comes the Shanks. They're sitting on 1 Dawn. Well, we always get to attack with an Enel, and we always get to gain a life, right? It just becomes almost, you know, it almost becomes unmanageable at this point, right? We're swinging it for 12. There's no way they're countering out of this. That would take their entire hand. Of course, we knew we were going to lose a card there. We're going to play out an 8 cost here, and I think we're just going to push that Bonney out of the way. Just get that thing out of the way. We'll swing 5 first, of course. Let's see what they do. They give us a 1K counter. Beautiful. Now we're going to play this card out, pushing back the Jory Bonney. Actually, we might do a Searcher. This is pretty greedy here, guys. I'm not going to lie. That 7 cost, like I said, that would have been nice a while ago. Now we have to do things a little differently, though. So we're going to push the Bonney to the bottom of life here, and then we're going to pass turn. I really wish I had played out the Shirahoshi. I think it would have been a slightly more optimal play. But watch this, guys. Okay, you know they've got nothing but top end left at this point, right? We've seen all the counter. They've already dropped Hody, 7 costs, Bonnies. They've played out the Lin. Swing for 5. Yep, it's going to be a Dofi turn. You already know it. Now, the life card I just got was an Enel, the new 10 cost. So we will take that. We will take it literally every single time. We're going to swing for 8 into face. They probably will not counter out of this. Actually, let me see something. Looks like we're going to... Yeah, I was going to say, I think I should just play out the 10 cost here without any hesitation. But I think I should swing for 8 first. Don't tell them what I'm... You know, don't give them an idea what you're going to do. I guess we're going to do that first just in case. Maybe we don't even swing with the Katakuri so that we can play around another Doflamingo. Okay, they take that without hesitation, of course, because that's a 12K into 5. They had 4 cards in hand, right? We will go 8 into 5. I do like this idea, because if you want to attack into my Katakuri, I'm completely okay with that. I'm at 2 life. We're fine, and we have a Rusher in hand. So, all right, here we go. The only thing that can really help them here, we should let this go. The only thing that can really even help them here... Okay, we actually saved it. Disagree with that play. I totally disagree with that play, guys. Doflamingo, that's the only thing that could save them here. That's what I was trying to say that whole time. And, yeah, I would... Looking back, hindsight, man, I'm telling you, it's funny when you watch your plays in reverse. It's like, what was I thinking? But, okay, we're going to swing in for 7 here. Let's see if he counters out of it. Okay. He definitely should. He definitely should counter out of this. Okay, well, I have 8 Dawn left, so now we're going to come in for 8. And we're just going to leave 1 Dawn active. Who knows what that's for, right? Who knows? That's just, I mean, I'm not against it. If he wanted to use up his whole hand, that's fine. But now what is he going to do? So right here, he can swing in for, let me do some math. All 4 attacks have to hit. So, okay, he has Hody Jones. We just gave him a Hody Jones, right? So, pause. Let's do some math. Why did I give him Hody Jones? Because I knew he was getting it, right? I knew he got that last turn. Now he's a 1K counter. So, watch this. He has 5 attacks. He plays out Hody Jones. He can swing 7, 9, 10, 10, 11, right? Well, 1 attack can be eaten from the first life, 1 from the second, and 1 from the third, right? So, there are 3. I can completely ignore 3 attacks, period, right? However, the 7K and the 9K... That's what I'm trying to get out of, right? Because, okay, 2K, 2K, and then 9K is, well, no, then I wouldn't be able to get the Nike. I'd have to get out one of the other attacks. I would just need one more card from life. Okay, so let's see what happens here. They're going to swing in for 8. Okay, well, that was not the right call, because I'm going to go 2K, 2K, and watch this. Now they swing for 8 more. Well, thank you for playing directly into the counter I had. Now he can only swing 8, 10, 10, 11. He can't even swing into my 10 cost bodies. 2K, 2K, game's over. You might as well leave. Right? So right here, guys, understand, pause. If he wants to attack into my 7 cost dude here, he can. If he wants to attack into my 1K, he can. He can only swing Shanks into my 11K body here, and that's all. And I still have 3 attacks. But with these remaining 3 attacks, he can't go through my life, because one card will go to my hand. The next card will go away, and I'll use the card from my hand to refill it, and then I have the final one. So it's at this point in the game, you pretty much might as well just leave. So we take that. We take this. Yep. And it was actually a beige. We'll just lock down his attack. We'll trash the Shirahoshi. We got up a life. Yeah, good game. Just insane. That beige being the last life was insult to injury, right? Just absolutely insult to injury. He had a lot of top end left in his hand, as we expected. But when we start playing down these rushers like this and getting that tempo and gaining life back, it becomes an absolute bear to deal with. Well, good game. That was a great game to my opponent there. That, like I said, that was like almost a 18-minute game, guys. 17.5-minute game. That was really, really fun game. Really good one. And guys, this list is not even necessarily the most optimized, because I think we should go into Sanjis here. There's even an argument, guys, to mess around with like 5 cost aces. Maybe we make a hyper-aggressive list in the future. I'm not saying we have to, but if we could just eat up all of our own life and go, okay, 5 cost 7K rush into 7 cost 7K rush into a 10 cost, 12K rush gain of life. It just seems so ridiculous, and we want to lose life as quickly as possible anyway most of the time, so that we get down to our leader effect where we can benefit, and it turns on our Raigo, right? So now our Raigo and our I Am Kami card here, we can just use these and not lose life if we're at 1 already. So it's just massive. Now I know it didn't seem like we used this card at all in the games we played, but we hit the trigger like 3 or 4 times over the course of the 5 games. Those are draw 2 trash 1 triggers, guys. Those are massive. Raigo's just good, but I don't even think we saw this card come up. But whatever the case is, hey, we'll take it. If anything, with a leader effect like this, okay, we don't need it in like a smaller matchup. Sure, trash the card, gain a life with an L. Seems good to me. Seems good to me, right? So yeah, let me go through it all real quick. I really like the Flampe in here. I like the Frankie. 2 of beige is fine. Shirahoshi is an all-star nowadays, guys. I can't get enough of how good this card is. This new Enel, absolute MVP as well. Katakuri's good. Yamato, the Enel. I'm really loving the entire list, guys. I'm having trouble finding room for other cards I want to include, because I really want to put like 1 or 2 of these Sanjis in as another way to fix cards. It's a 5 cost 6K body. That's not a small body, and it does have a 1K counter. Helps us fix our hand and everything. Not a lot of downside to that card, man. There's just not a lot of downside to this card. And then, so maybe this is what needs to go, because I will say this right now, guys. I didn't really find myself needing this card. It came up a few times where it was like, oh, that was pretty good, I guess. But I don't know if I necessarily need this card. If I get rid of this for something like 2 Sanjis, I go up 2 1K counters, but I do lose 2 triggers. So there might be something we have to do some fine-tuning, some balancing with right there. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we don't. Because I think Nami also could go down to like a 3 of. So what I was thinking was, I think we need a few more like 1 and 2 drop plays, or even just go up more 2K counters. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways we can take the list from here, guys. But overall, the list felt good. The list was performing well. This leader is an absolute menace. It always has been. And this new card right here, what a boost. What an absolute boost to his potential. And same idea with this card. This card was not as impactful as I thought it would be for what we were doing, because we're cycling through so many cards. Like, I feel like we're going through so many cards with a leader effect, and with these, Frankie's trigger cycles a card, Nami can cycle a card. We know this card can, that I was just talking about. Maybe we go up to 4 of these. Like, if we drop 2 of these cards right here, if we drop the 2 we see right here and 1 Nami, we can go up a 4th I Am Kami, go up a 4th You're the One Who Should Disappear, and then go up a 3rd Capone Gang Beige. So again, going down 1 Nami and going down 2 of this card. Let me just do it real quick, just to kind of show what I'm saying. Oh, we can also try this card out too. That might be something I mess with in the future as well. Let me go ahead and just do it like this for now. I will go up this, and then I'll also go up the 0 cost. The 0 cost is nice to have at a 4 of, so I would like to change that. Okay, yeah, so here we go. So this is probably the direction I'll take it in the future, just to mess around with. I absolutely love this card, Nami. Everyone who follows this channel knows how much I brag about how good this card is, and it is. It is insanely good. But we don't have a ton of triggers to really go off of it. We only have 2 let me see something. Let me do 4, 8, 10, 13, 16, 20. So that even taking out those 2 cards we did, we went down to about 20 triggers. I think we had 21 to 22 before, something like that, maybe 23 at the most. But yeah. Either way, I do like this change already. Looking at this change, I already like it better, and I think what we have is pretty decent here. Another card that we should consider that I've seen a lot of decks run in the past. I don't know if there's enough room to run it anymore, but there was a 2-cost card, Nami. This card right here. This is a great addition to the deck, and it kind of does what we need Nami to do out of the trigger spot, and then later in the game we can use it to banish our opponent's life. I think this is a serious consideration card here. Great trigger. And this is also a card we can choose to recycle with Katakuri if it lines up like that. There's an option there. Same thing with Nami, by the way, guys. If we have a Nami that we play down on the turn, like say we're on a 6-dawn turn and we slam down Nami and pop one of their guys, if Nami sticks, which it doesn't always stick, but if it sticks and we go to an 8-dawn turn next, okay, Katakuri, push it to life, your turn. Now you go to swing in, we're popping one of your guys, we're potentially cycling a card, and we can swing with the first 2 just to get full value. Like, there's a lot of potential there with Nami and Katakuri. Another card that I really want to consider in Enel is actually Nico Robin. It is another trigger to add to the deck, and the on-play effect is decent, it's relevant, but it's not super insane. I'm actually more focused on the fact that it is another trigger card that helps out your Nami, and it's a 1K counter, but most importantly, that trigger can cheat out cards like Flampe to draw. Well, that would be pretty crazy if you chose to do that, but you could cheat out cards like Flampe, I guess, technically, but it's really for cheating out Shirahoshi, cheating out Captain Beige. It just has, like, it's really mainly for the Shirahoshi tech, I'm not going to lie, guys. That is like a potentially game-winning play, and then, okay, worst case scenario, it's a 1K counter. Worst case scenario, it's a trigger to trash with our Nami. So that's another card to consider. And then one more that I really, really love, I've always loved this card since it came out, is Jory Bonney. It's another trigger, draw 2, trash 1. It's got the 1K counter. It has the ability to allow us to just really start drawing cards like crazy. So this is another one that, and if we go the Nico Robin route and we choose to go up Nico Robins, like go to 2, 3 Nico Robins, this is another card you can cheat out with that effect. So very, very powerful synergy there. And I've said this before, guys. This card, let me just add it to the list just so we can talk about it. And then the Nico Robin. These cards right here, like, look, they're right by each other. This 3, 5, 6 little trio here, Jory Bonney, Nami, and Nico Robin, they are just like this incredible tag team trio, or whatever you want to call them. They're like this perfect like trifecta of like trigger, synergy, counter. Look, I mean, look at it like this. They're all triggers. They're all 1K counters. One is removal, the other is card draw, and the other is life manipulation. And they're all triggers. So from your life, they're affecting the board potentially, or the game potentially. And then from playing them from hand, this one's actually affecting your opponent's life. This one's popping things. I can't say enough good things about this. Without it being in the deck, it almost feels like I'm building it incorrectly. You know what I mean? But who knows? Maybe there is room for it. Maybe we take out one of these. Maybe we take out an I Am Kami and go up another Jory Bonney, the 3 cost. Let me grab that real quick. And then maybe for Nico Robin, I don't know. I'd only want to go to about 2 of those. I don't think we would need a lot of these. Maybe we drop down like either a single Gadatsu or a single Raigo. Probably the Raigo, actually, because I feel like 3 Raigos is enough. So and they're both 6 cost. So if we were to ever like go up a Nico Robin, it would probably look something like this. Oh, look, guys, I have 53 out of 51 because I didn't take out some of those cards. So I don't know. Let me just say this. This is kind of, we're going for something along these lines. If you can make it work, do it. But I would love to go up 2 Bonnies and up 2 Robins. But for now, I'm going to keep it, like, this is the list we tried out today. But that's the next project for me that I'm going to try to work into the deck. So, really good stuff. Very fun deck to play. This was an absolute blast. All right, I'm done. I'm done yapping. So, guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me bring up the playmat page. Hey, if you're supporting the channel in any way, shape, and form... Whoops. Hang on. I messed up my face cam. That was a little too small. There we go. Guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, contributing to the community in any way, whether it be on, hopping on the Discord or community... I know I was trying to say, submitting data for Red Yellow Saba, whatever you're doing, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Big shout out to the VV Pirates playmat supporters over here. Hope you guys are enjoying your playmats. Big shout out to the VV Pirates YouTube members as well. I need to update this list very soon. And then last but not least, the patrons who just go above and beyond doing whatever they can to just make the channel, to make things work. All right, I'm done. That's enough yapping for one day. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, or if I missed something, please say something in the comment section below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.